what's going on, you guys? I first want to start everything off by saying thank you for subscribing. Now, what I really appreciate is going to help me bring more affordable classes and some more events to people in the skate community. So with this subscription, I will be posting bi-weekly, so twice a month. And I will be posting 15-minute skate workouts and off skate workouts. So we're gonna alternate between the two. Today we're gonna start off with a nice skate workout, and this will be focused on helping you become a better forward skater. So the biggest mistake I see people doing with forward skating is two things. They're more like thinking about walking, and forward skating is simply moving side to side. Bop, 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 bop. I'm gonna show you in just a second. Number two is they're too much on their toes. Babes, if you're outside and you put your weight on your toes more than the back, that's when you trip on the pebbles, you know? Learning to sit your weight more back, not putting your body back, but sitting the weight in your foot more towards the back wheel will greatly help you with being able to not have nice, smooth strides like so. So when we're skating forward, we wanna here. I'm pushing side to side. So we'll be working on a lot of balance, holding our core and strengthening our inner thighs and our glutes, because that is super, 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 super important. All right. So the way I do workouts, we do 45 seconds on and then 15 seconds off. We're gonna be doing 5 exercises. The first exercise, we're gonna just simply balance on our foot. Whichever foot you wanna balance on, that's fine. I suggest you first starting off with the foot that you're most comfortable with. And then the second time, because we're gonna work on both legs, of course. Then the second one, let me touch the side. Move around. The second one, we're going to be on the opposite leg. So that's another thing. We practice on both sides here, okay? Breathing being, it's a lot easier to maneuver and get that very smooth skate therapy experience when you're able to go different directions, no matter the move. Believe me when I say it's gonna help. All right, 15-second break. Also, you don't have to hold it up that full 45 if you can't. If you need a break in between, that's fine. But you do want to build up to be able to stand in your foot the entire 45 seconds. So, a couple things that will help you with your balance is your weight, especially mine, being more on the inside of my skate. Okay? Go back. Being more on the inside of my skate. Because once you start putting the weight on the outside of the skate, you're gonna have a tendency to roll your foot out. That makes it a lot harder for you to gain control of the skate. Breathe hard, yeah. 2 more things. When you're standing, your thighs should be engaged. So I suggest a slight bend in the legs. Also, engage your glutes and your inner thigh muscles. All right, now we're gonna stand at the first position. So in a slight small V, I'm gonna have you roll out your right leg to as far as you feel comfortable. The farther you come out, the harder it's gonna be coming back. And with coming back, I really want you to use that glute to bring it back in. All right, rolling out. Squeeze that glute, that core is nice and tight, and we're using our inner thigh. All right, bring your body weight out with the skate. Don't just stick your foot out, because that's really not really doing much. We're trying to learn to gain control over our movements a bit better. Because again, when you're skating, you're basically pressing out. So being able to come out to that foot will help you. All right, now we're gonna go to the left side because we practice both sides over here. Again, take this nice and slow. Nice and slow. And it helps to have a nice R&B jam playlist, neo soul playlist. It doesn't matter what you listen to, but you know, the slower music is what I like to listen to be able to really extend my movements. And so while you're extending the length of your leg and you have your weight on it, you're bringing more strength into your glute and your inner thigh. So the slower you can do the movement, babes, the more control you're gonna have over your movement. You know, then you can do all the slow stuff. All right, so the fifth exercise, the last exercise, and then we're gonna do 2 more rounds. It's just gonna be getting into a squat. Coming down as low as you can. A big thing here is to learn not to put your chest over your knees, because that's going to send more weight onto your toes, the ball of your foot, which you can tip over that way. So while you're coming down into the squat, try to keep the chest behind the knee as much as possible. To be able to get into a deep squat like this, you have to open up your hips a bit more. So work on opening up your hip. If you're too tight in that area, just come down as low as you can. If this is as low as you can, that is fine. You're gonna slowly work down to getting lower. All right, 15-second break. And now we get to start over. All right. Again, we're holding one foot. As you're here, you should have a slight bend in the, I'm telling you, the more of a bend you have, the more control you have over it. But the downside is the more you're working your quads. So, you know, you take one for the other. Also, you're gonna have your outer glute engaged to help you with that balance, because you wanna keep most of that weight in the center. Find the center. If you're using your arms, make sure that your arms are even. When you start doing all this, it's be like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Shoulders are nice and even. Try to have your hips nice and even for the most part as well. Again, if you need that quick up, listen, we're gonna build up to that 45. Yeah. It's not bad lighting, but I'm gonna work with it for now. Now we're gonna go over to the opposite foot, because we practice both sides. Again, if you don't feel sturdy at first, you can drop your foot down, figure out the placement of your foot, because that's also a very big thing. The placement, the weight that you put on your foot, whether you're putting it on the heels too much or maybe you're putting on the outside. Again, I prefer to have my weight more on the inside when I'm skating, period. I love my inner edges. We'll talk about that later. Also, a nice little bend, trying to keep that alignment. Core is nice and tight. So all of this wrapped around is like, ah. Also that calf, baby, is working, all right? All right, now we're gonna go back to the rolling out and rolling back in, but we're gonna add a bit of a variation. You're gonna roll out, your foot should be in like a 45-degree angle already. So you're gonna roll out nice and slow. Remember, the farther out you go, the more effort it's gonna take for you to pull back, but I want you to use that glute to be like squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. We don't wanna throw our body. Then I want you to open out to a 90 and come out to the side and back. So this, then you're really gonna feel it on the inner thigh of the opposite leg and the glute of the leg that you're rolling out. Then you're gonna go back to 45 and roll them it back in. Now, if you can't open up this wide, that's fine. Just stick to the 45 with rolling out and rolling in. I don't care how many reps you do. I want you to think about your form more than anything this entire workout. Well, we're about halfway through, but the rest of the workout. Try to make those mind and body connections. I'm telling you what muscles you should be engaging. Starting on the opposite leg now. While I'm rolling out, I'm still engaging my glutes and my inner thigh. My core is definitely braced. You know, like boxers and stuff, how you gotta brace your core. You wanna keep that same thing going here, especially when you're skating, because that will keep you from falling backwards most of the time. If you're able to catch yourself with your core, like, I got it. You know, it's a lot. You're less prone to injury if you're falling down this way than trying to fall on your back. Okay, I'll let you know right now. So straight, so hold that core nice and tight as you come out and as you bring it in. All right, 15-second break. 5th exercise, 2nd round. Give it all you got. If you need to, you can also open up your legs a little bit more and make sure that your feet are at a V to be able to come down further in that squat. But you do want to work your way up to being able to keep your feet straight and also being able to come to that squat. But if it's easier here, it's fine as well. Just know that you're going to be engaging more of the side quad than you will here. But you're both engaging that glutes. It's like, yes. And again, just get as low as you possibly can. Build up that flexibility slowly. So come down. If it's right here, you're like, I can't get down. Also practice off skates as well. You know, practice getting to a deep squat. That translate over into being able to do a deep squat. On skates. All right. Last round. 45 seconds holding. Doesn't matter which foot you start off with because we will practice the opposite as well. See how I'm doing here, how I roll? I also want you to get comfortable with the roll, even if it's slight. Preparing your body to be on a foot while you roll is essentially striding / forward skating, but smooth forward skating, all right? Again, the quad, you should feel it in the quad, and that glute, also the core, nice and tight. I promise you, if you strengthen your core, so much stuff will fall in line. Spins and all right? Now we're gonna go to the opposite side. For me, it's gonna be my right side. Again, bending your knee will give you a bit more control. Never lock your knee. Should have mentioned this earlier. Don't ever lock your knee. So what happens with that is then when you start getting shaky, what you're gonna do? This. Okay? Having a slight bend, then at that point when you start getting shaky, coming down here. It takes way more muscle effort, but you have more control. Okay? Also, this helps you get into the mindset of, hey, if I get tripped up, guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go down first. I'm gonna be like, let me try to get a squat, babes. Trust me, it hurts a lot less to fall from here than up here. Believe me when I say that, just believe me. All right. Now, the pushing out and pulling back in. You can do whatever variation that you would like. If you're just here, that's fine. But again, make sure you bring your weight out onto the skate. Don't just stick your foot out. Bringing it back in. If you want to take it to the next level, open it out to a 90 degree. Coming out, bringing back in. Again, engage the glutes and the core to pull the leg back. I don't want you trying to come back by doing one of these, throwing your body. Use the muscles to roll it back. It's just another type of strength training, resistance training. The wheels are not your resistance because it's gonna wanna go out while you're trying to bring it in, especially once you go past a certain distance. If you haven't built up that strength, babes, you're like, we're just going down. So take baby steps. Come out as far as you can. Once this gets comfortable, you can start to bring it out more. And then our body will be like, okay, we can do it. Baby steps. Baby steps. I promise that will help you stay safe and have a fun skate journey if you just slow it down. Take your time. Do what you can. Break it down into smaller pieces. It's like I'm doing here. We basically broke a forward stride into 3 parts, and we're strengthening each part of it, because strides are just here. So I'm bending my knees, I'm balancing on one foot, but I'm skating forward. All right, last exercise, we gonna squat, cause that's what I like. Should be a rapper. Yes. Down. Again, use those glutes. Use those glutes. Hey, use those glutes. Hey, use your glutes. Bring the pressure more inward on your skates. Don't knock knee yourself. But as far as your feet, you want to feel more pressure on the inside ball of your foot and the inside of your heel than on the outside. And last one. This is the last one. Yes. All right, guys. That was a nice little 15-minute skate workout. You can do this before you start skating. Again, all 3 of those exercises and 2 extra ones, because we practice on both sides, will get you a smoother stride. Because again, a stride is basically you shifting side to side, side to side. The same is true for backward skating. If you want to get that nice, smooth backward skate, being able to balance on both sides, use your glute, tighten your core. Bam, bam, bam. Also get familiar with the pressures in your feet. That's what controls your edges. And we will take up more on edges the next skate video. All right, thanks guys.